here to fight there.
It's week 10 of the National Football League, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the Falcons and the Saints, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the venerable Super. Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from the Superdome. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Back to Robinson now on first down. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The Falcons at 6-2 to start play. They come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
We love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 15-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. The gun. They'll look to throw. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, this defense for the Falcons very strong in that victory a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. They run it again with Kamara. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll try the air now with Hill. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on third down, Hill. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. Back deep is a very dangerous Mike Hughes. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Taken in at the 22. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And the confidence from last week carrying over to this week.
2 weeks in a row. And I have to admit, last week, I thought they were going to really struggle running the football. I thought that they had a real challenge on their hands, and they more than met it and created big...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is... Look at the big man rumble. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting him a few yards.
Kamara is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Again, Kamara. And this time he scores. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
To come out for the PAT, he can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Groupie able to add the PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Lifts the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth the salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. That's taken at around the 40. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So here are the Saints to take over. They've dropped 4 straight games coming into this one, remember, but they have the lead here. On 1st and 10, Hill. He gets it left side to Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Hill. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. After 7-0. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Hill now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. Toss wide side. This is Kamara. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
And this will be a Falcons first down as good running gets them to about the 44. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a carry for Algier headed right. And a lane slowly materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. This pass is caught by London. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That's good for 28 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Robinson. Touchdown, Falcons. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. A 10th carry for Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Hill. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
This is brought in at the 21. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it will be Falcon football. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll look to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues. And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
He'll throw complete there to Thomas. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now a 2nd and 2. Hill looks to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2. Hill being chased out left. he's brought down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. A point after, good by Groupie. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. And the Falcons now going to go on offense late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Escaping the pressure right. And this one too low.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield and fell incomplete. Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Fielded at about the 28. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And the Saints going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Hill now on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Hill throwing once more. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. Clock running as he's brought down, but now you can't spike it. It's 4th down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll get you over. Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaunt, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Saints going to take over on offense to begin this 3rd quarter. This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. 3rd and 9 here. First throw now for the backup car. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Carr now on first down. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Well, struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Throwing his Carr on third down. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. And the defense loses him. It's complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 43 yards.
Another big play right there. And this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's second down. Now Carr. Completing it to the right side. Johnson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Groupie able to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The second down and 10th in, knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And they're going to speed things up here. Again, he'll drop to throw. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Here's Carr to throw. Johnson's got it complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. On play action, now Carr. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A gain of 39 that time. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Carr.